Your car guy here. Today we're going to replace the rear brake sensor on a E60 BMW. This one's a 2007 525. And the sensor is the brake pad wear sensor. What's going on is this vehicle at some point recently, someone has put new rear brake pads on, but did not replace the wear sensor. Because of that, if the sensor has any damage at all, it won't allow you to reset the maintenance minder in the computer, which tells it based on mileage when it should be due new rear brakes. So it uses a combination of the sensors and the maintenance minder. So in this case, it's got a nice brake light saying, hey, the rear brakes are completely worn out, even though they're not. But you can't reset that until you replace this sensor. So we're going to show you that. I've got the vehicle up and supported on a jack stand. We've used chocks on the tires, make sure the park brake's set in this case, and we'll get going. We're going to use a 17mm socket. In this case, I'm using an impact because I have it and it makes it faster, to remove the wheel studs. Okay, with the wheel off, we should be able to replace the sensor. This is the sensor right here, so you can see, and it's just going to pull this way straight out of the brake pad. There's also going to be a rubber clip right here that goes onto the bleed hose. You'll have to pull it out of a clip here and another clip here. Note your routing. You want to reroute it the same way. And ultimately it's going to come up into this box, which has the connection. You just pop the two clips to open it up, and there's your connection for your brake sensor. Now they also have the connection here. This other connection is the ABS wheel speed sensor. We don't want to mess with that. We're just going to do the brake sensor. So we'll disconnect it right here. We'll pop it out along there, and it'll just pop out of these clips where there's the rubber grommet. So you can see it, they'll just pop right out, and we'll just unplug, pop off this here. So all we're going to do is just a real quick simple fix on this and replace this without having to take the brake caliper off. This upper clip, if we turn it around, we can see there's just a simple push button right there. We're going to push in and pull those two pieces apart. They may be tight together, but we'll push in, that releases the lock. Then you can pull this sleeve away from this right here. Don't grab on the wires and pull. If you grab on the wires and pull, you're liable to pull them out of the sockets and thereby ruin your connection, and then you need more work than just a wheel speed sensor. We did just pop this right out of the brake pad, and so it was a very easy to remove. Now normally this job would have been done while you're replacing the rear brakes, but I want to show you what happens here. See the old sensor on the left and the new sensor on the right. See how worn down that is. This is what I mean by, if that's got anywhere at all, you're not able to reset the brake maintenance indicator. So we're just going to simply install our new sensor in the reverse pattern of what we took it out. So that'll mean we're going to plug it into the brake pad right here. So it's going to slide. You'll see there's a little U-shaped groove right at the top of the brake pad. It's a little difficult to see in there, but trust me, it's there. You can see that U-shaped groove. This will plug right down into that U-shaped groove and just snap right in. Once it's snapped in there, it's just a matter of rerouting the wiring back through the different connections where it's going to hold it in place and keep it away from getting any damage. And now this is really important, because if you don't route the wire properly, odds are it's going to get into the suspension and rub on something, get tangled up in something, and then it's going to tear itself out, and you're going to have a damaged sensor, and you're going to have to do this whole thing over again. The sensors aren't expensive, so it's a good idea when you're getting your brakes done or getting ready to have them done, either order them and bring them to the mechanic that you're gonna do them, or do it yourself. And here we have it. We are routed in, connected here, routed behind the brake line, connected here. There's a little tiny clip here it goes through. We've got the blader valve wrapped back over it, plugged into the brake pad. You can see connected here and snap back into place. Simply close that up, and now all we've got left to do is just put the wheel back on. Make sure when you're putting your wheel on to not over torque it, but torque it to the correct specs, and use a star pattern. Star pattern meaning go here to here to here to here to here, And what that'll do is it'll help keep you from warping the brake rotor by tightening one side too tight and then flexing the metal as you tighten the other side. So if you run that star pattern, and it doesn't really matter where you start as long as you just follow that pattern, it'll help keep you from having any issues with a warped rotor. All right, to reset, we've got the ignition on. We're gonna hold down the button to the left till our triangle pops up. Triangle pops up. We're gonna just wait a minute. Okay, now we can just scroll through the different things that need reset. There's the front brakes. There's coolant, exhaust. Here's our rear brakes. Then you'll just simply hold down the button again. It'll ask okay, or it'll actually say reset, and then you'd hit it again and hold it until it resets to the miles. In this case, I've just reset it before this to 31,000 miles, and we're all set. There you go. This is your car guy. If you found this video helpful, please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe. Help me grow the channel.